Welcome to our SpiroConnect training video on forced spirometry testing. Let's now look at how we complete the forced blow part of the examination. In most situations, you will be starting the forced tests straight after the relaxed blows. If this isn't the case, start the software as shown in our earlier video and choose the button marked Forced Spirometry. If you have just completed the relaxed blows, you will have the buttons shown here to choose from. Click on Add Base Forced to start the test. We will now be shown two graphs. These are similar to the ones we saw when taking our relaxed blows. At the top of the screen we have our instruction for the patient. On the graph you will see the grey areas. This is the predicted range based on the patient demographics. After 6 seconds the screen will highlight green. It will highlight pink when detecting a plateau. You may hear an additional beep if the patient blows for 15 seconds. A final beep will sound when 4 seconds passes with no flow. Let's watch our first forced blow. At the bottom of the screen we see a timer that counts up as the patient blows. The message changes along with the color to show the plateau is reached. When the blow ends, the screen changes automatically to show the results. This is the same screen as we saw on the relaxed blow guide and will show all of the tests in the examination so far. The new test is shown at the bottom here. With forced tests we get much more information in the results due to the nature of the test. This includes the measured values. Next to it are the best individual results so far. In this column we have the predicted values, both a figure and percentage. Next to this we have the LLN or lower limit of normality, Z-score, and standard deviation figures too. Any results highlighted in blue on this screen are below the predicted lower limit of normality. On the right we can see the first graph from the test screen. If we want to see both graphs we can select that from the tab at the top of the summary page. We can also choose the Z-score tab to see the results in this format. Above the results is a guideline on the quality of the test so far. We can see the software was happy with the blow we just completed. Poor quality blows will show in red here. To the right we have our variability. This will fill in with additional tests. On the far right we have the acceptance score. In the lower part of the screen, we can see our test feedback and our first report in the interpretation section. We also have our grading for the overall exam, along with acceptance criteria. This won't be acceptable until we have 3 blows that meet the details shown here. We have the same buttons as we saw in the relaxed blows, done if we are not doing any more tests. Reject if the blow didn't meet your expectations. Next to continue with the exams. Let's click Next. Our best blow so far is shown in red. Along with this view on the forced blows, we do have other view options. We can see individual larger copies of the graphs on the first screen. We also have the incentive view. This provides a small animation to help encourage your patient as they blow. The default animation is called skyscraper. When the patient blows they spin the turbine which powers the lights in the building. If they can meet the target, there is a hidden smiley face to light at the top of the building. There is the option to choose a dandelion animation instead. This allows the patient to blow the seeds from the flower. When the seeds are all gone, they get a nice picture of a meadow. Some patients may not be able to achieve the end target when doing their blows. The patient needs to achieve 95% of their predicted FVC target on the first forced blow. For the following blows, the target switches to be 105% of their best FVC score so far. This encourages the patient to push themselves on each blow. It also means the patient has more chance to get the full animation over the course of the exam. If the patient achieves the full animation but still has breath left, they should be encouraged to keep going, to get the best result possible. Get the patient to blow and keep encouraging them as needed. You will be able to see the quality and progress of their blow compared to the previous effort. We didn't manage to hit our end animation on this test, but the device beeped to signal no further airflow had been detected. The blow is still a good blow, despite not hitting the end of the animation. When using the incentive animation, the results screen won't automatically appear. You will need to press View Results to continue. We can see the results again here, showing the 2 tests so far. You may notice we now have a new option in the test feedback section. Ticking this box will exclude the blow from the results. This box is available on any forced blows carried out during this examination. The decision to exclude any blows is down to your clinical guidance and training. Let's complete our final test in this section. If you used the incentive on the previous blow, the view will default back to the animation. A good blow again. Let's go back to the results. We can see all of the tests listed from this examination. In the bottom right, we can see we have met the acceptance criteria. If your patient didn't meet the criteria, you will see this in red with additional details explaining what the problem is. We can see how the exclude tick box works. If we exclude the last blow, we can see the criteria reverts to not met and provides details. As we know it was a good blow, we can untick the box. This will add it back in. The decision on when the test is completed is down to your clinical training. The acceptance criteria should be used as guidance to complement your experience in the room with the patient. Some patients may get the target in 3 blows, others may need more, and some may not be able to achieve the criteria at all. We can now click Done to complete our tests for this part of the examination. We need to confirm we have finished adding in tests of this type. From this tab, we can review our results and look at the test summaries. We can also add exam notes and see the trend of historic tests for this patient as shown in the relaxed guide. At this point, we are ready to save the results back to our clinical system. Simply click Save and Exit. We are back at the main screen. We just need to click the X in the top corner to close the SpiroConnect software. If you are intending to carry out reversibility testing, it is still important to close and save the results at this point. You will restart the process from the integration when you are ready to begin the reversibility tests. After a moment, the integration software filing screen will appear. The tick boxes show the results you are going to file back to the clinical system. We can see the PDF report and add comments here if needed. At the bottom of this window, we have 3 options. Choosing Cancel will close without saving anything back to the clinical system. Select File if you are done with the test and the patient is leaving with no further tests required today. This will complete the examination and save the results above into your clinical system. Finally, if you are planning on carrying out reversibility or post-bronchodilator tests, choose the button that says File Results after post-tests are completed. This closes the integration without filing anything into the patient record and allows you to see other patients. You can then start the software when this patient is ready for their post-bronchodilator tests. This is the end of the forced blow training video. Our final videos will cover the reversibility testing and go over the PDF results.